I moved to Nashville when I was 20 years old. And I feel I had like the traditional path of intern to assistant engineer to freelance assistant engineer to engineer. And as a freelance engineer for about 10 years, I just decided to have my own space. Looked at a lot of different buildings and stumbled across this one, which is fantastic, and 99% of it was already here. I bought a tape machine. I've had a tape machine for a while and restored it myself. When the studio opened in 2008, it got some press, so then people were emailing. It's like, oh, I'd like a tape machine. And then I started just selling them. And then that blossomed to its own business. When they come in for restoration, we don't even turn them on. We just tear them completely apart and start from the ground up. A lot of what we do is resoldering. You know, these are 40 years old, and what makes them easy to maintain over 40 years causes some issues, mainly how modular they are. This is the transport section. So these all just pop off, which is great. If there's a problem, you can, right? So what we have to do over 40 years is just resolder all these points and all these connectors, right? So sometimes this design and this manufacturer gets a bad rap, but it's only because they haven't been maintained. Once it's stable, it's really easy to maintain. And what we like is an owner can learn how to do that, and then they feel more invested in the machine, right? And they go, oh wow, I understand it now. I just started noticing that film cameras were coming back. Handmade jeans are a thing. All these handcrafted things, and it's like that common thread, whatever it is, I don't even know, is the same. I think it's an experience. Analog tape machines I kind of view now as a lifestyle brand, as dorky as that sounds. I want to change how I record music. You buy a different microphone, you're hyper-focused on how it sounds because you're not really changing how you record. Our restoration thought process and goal is to make these sound like they were when they were new. They have a great lineage. We don't modify them to sound any different. Hey, Peter, is there a transformer card floating around? We do offer drop-in output cards that have the original circuit built in, so you have the original sound, and then you can add with a push of a button an input transformer and output transformer. That's our only departure, but again, the key factor is with all buttons up, it has the original sound. My day-to-day conversation 6 or 7 years ago was, how does it sound? How does it sound? Can I send you a file? Can I listen to it? And we would do that, and they would buy one, because it really does have a sonic impact, the machines we do and how we do them, right? That conversation never happens now. It's, how do I use it? How can it change my workflow? Those kind of conversations, which was I kind of pointed to earlier with the lifestyle brand. It's like, I want this thing. How do I plug it in? And how can I change? Like, how would I record? Here's what I'm doing now. How would I do it with a tape machine? And those are really fun conversations. When we first started, we would ship a machine with the original manual. And one day I just sat down and read the manual as somebody who didn't know what a tape machine was. And it literally says, step 1, load tape. Step 2, apply signal. And I'm like, well, that's not very helpful at all. So we just don't ship it with the manual anymore. We ship it with the user guide, which is more paragraphs of what these functions are, and a video of me walking you through how to use a machine. And then we have a resource of videos of just common adjustments that you might need 6 to 8 months from now, all videos. Whether I'm selling tape machines or not, I'm the you can do it person. You know, it's not that hard, and that's what's fun. So if you go on the internet, like I mentioned earlier, people are gonna say how hard it is and how much you have to do and all the tools you have to buy, and it's just all a bunch of crap. It is a bunch of crap. Tape starts here and goes across the heads, and there are 3 heads. One is an erase head, one is a record head, and one's a playback head. So this head records, basically just moves oxide particles around, a lot like digital ones and zeros. How those particles get situated on the tape is how it gets read. From an owner's perspective, because I own tape machines, and this is part of my sales pitch too, is it's already obsolete. I'm not going to obsolete it myself in my business. There's no way I can do it, right? I'm not gonna release a 29-track machine or a 25-track machine, or, you know what I mean? Like digital does, right? Digital's still evolving. Analog tape machines did that in the 60s and 70s. They went from 2 tracks to 4 tracks to 8 tracks, whatever, to better machines, and you need to get it because this new feature, and it's hit its pinnacle. If people want to record on tape, I think it'll be right there. And our company's spending money on making sure the machines will last as long as they possibly can. One of the fun things about all the things I do is I get random emails from people who used to work in this building, and I get emails from people that used to work at MCI, and they're so thrilled that what they were working on in the 70s and 80s is still viable, and that we're doing it at the level we do it, you know? And to have a company that supports it and encourages analog recording, they're thrilled.